Hello beautiful hearts, my name is Yvonne Wildheart and welcome to the Cycle Report for the 20th of July 2020. I come to you from Gabonut, King Parrot country in the Otways in Victoria in Australia in the Southern Hemisphere. So today we are exactly 4 weeks past winter solstice. So this time 4 weeks ago, which was a dark moon, new moon also, we were entering the new Earth phase, the new Earth cycle for the next 12 months. It was a very powerful cycle because it was also a click over, it was also an eclipse new moon as well. So, whatever's been happening over the past 4 weeks and over the next 4 weeks to come, it feels very imperative that we really start to think about those seeds that we're planting for the next 12 months. We're very much in the unseen realm still. It's the equivalent to about 2:30 in the morning. And it's just like we're holding these seeds in our hands and we're preparing the earth ready to plant. And, what nourishment do you want to put in that earth so the seeds will go really, really strong? My teacher, Jane Harwick-Collins, always says that whatever happens at the start of the cycle, sets the tone for the rest of the cycle. So this is a really important time to think about your dreamings. How do you want to be? Who do you want to be? What do you want to, have in the next, this time, looking back, next year in May, looking back to, what the 12 months, this is the start of that cycle, so to hold it and to really, a lot of people always, do like vision boards and things like that this time of year. It's the dreaming scape of calling in very powerful dreaming and holding very powerful seeds. This is a very, very powerful time. We are in a very deep transition of the earth, but also the moon. We're on a dark moon right now, but tomorrow morning at 2:30 in the morning, 2:33 or around that, here in Victoria in Australia, we'll be clicking over to a new moon cycle. So there's a double layer going on here, and with all that's happening in the world right now, and stepping into that light, because we are ascending right now. So with the Earth cycle, and as from tomorrow morning, we were ascending with the moon cycle. So double ascension into the light. And what we're finding through the Invoking Inanna journey, that as we ascend into the light, it's really interesting what is coming up, and the longing to just stay in the underworld and stay in the winter and stay in the cocoon for a little bit longer, because stepping into your light can be actually really scary, especially if you're being told, not to be in your light, not to shine. People get triggered by it when you're shining, and so it's imperative actually that we need to step into the light and we need to shine to warm the earth for the generations that come after this deep winter that we've been in. So it's time to step into your light. It's time to hold those seeds and really just nurture them and hold them to your heart and really feel into how you want to be and what do you want to spread. And do you want to live in fear, which is what's we've been sort of told to do right now through the media, and our government is telling us to live in fear? Or do we want to step out of that and just go, okay, well, this is what's happening now, so what have we been called to do? We're called to be home, come home to ourselves, to really just sit with our inner scape, our inner world, and just hold that for ourselves and tend to ourselves, run baths for ourselves, and just cleanse and clean out anything in our house, in our home spaces that no longer serves us, both energetically, emotionally and physically. This is the time to really, we're being called to that. So we have two choices here. We can sit in the fear and the anger, or we can surrender and just go, okay, so what are we being called to do right now? And just really just sit in that and sit into the light and sit into, melting into the homescape, which is really interesting because this this new moon that comes in tomorrow is on a Cancerian new moon, which is the second new moon in Cancer, which is unusual to have two new moons in one, within the same time frame on the same sign. So it feels like it's really deep calling into home to self, and we're also, a lot of us are in lockdown, to be confined to the home. So, it's a really good opportunity to sit in it and to really feel out our home spaces. And, can we feel safe here? And, are we, what's coming up? So it's an interesting time for both clearing out, cleansing, and coming home to yourself. So Earth cycle, newness of this moving into Imbolc. And so we'll be moving into Imbolc. So the traditional date is on the 2nd of August, which is coming up in a couple of weeks. But the actual astrological point, the exact actual point where the stars are, and where the Earth is between winter solstice, which is the deepest descent of the full darkness, and the spring equinox, which is the equal day, equal night. So we are hitting that point between those 2 points of the Earth tilt on the 8th of August. And so the things that you can do for that is, again, sit down with your children, if you've got children, or yourself, and write out a list of how you want to be and what do you want to call in. What we do as a family, we usually have a ritual where we light some candles and we stick it into the earth, and we gather wattle and things like that and make a mandala around the candles to really signify that warming of the earth. And we need to warm the earth. We need to step into our light to warm the earth after this cold winter. Otherwise, spring doesn't come and the seeds don't actually really germinate if we're not in our light. And so the warming of the earth is imperative that we do that. So if a couple of things, if you want to sign up for get more information and more articles from what I have to offer, sign up to my new newsletter, which the links are below. And also we are starting a new cycle for the Invoking Inanna journey through the underworld on the 13th of August. This is a 17-week journey, which as a group of sisters, we go through each gate following the Inanna journey map, and we shed and we let go of all the things that no longer serve, like really getting down to the core of your being, of really stripping back the layers. And then we sit in the underworld where there's an opportunity to possibly do a wilderness solo if the COVID stuff is sort of subsiding. And then we do an ascension up through the gates where we can really fully step into our light and warm this earth for the next generations to come. And we must do this. And so this is a guide, a map that we journey through together as a group of sisters, as a collective, and also individually. And that would be on Zoom. So no matter where you are in Australia, come join us. It'd be bloody awesome to have sisters. There's about 6 spots left, so come sit in our circle with us, and the link will be below for more than that. So that's it for today. From my heart to your beautiful hearts, I wish you so much love, and that so much holding, and just step into your light. Your light is needed, sister and brothers. Your light is so needed. Thank you for listening.